If you constantly find yourself saying yes when you want to say no, agreeing with opinions you don't actually hold, and feeling completely exhausted from keeping everyone around you happy, I want to tell you something crucial. People pleasing is not a personality trait. It's a survival mechanism. You're not weak, you're not broken, and you are not too nice. Your body is running a protective pattern that was learned a long time ago, way back in caveman times. Today, I'm going to talk about what's actually happening in your nervous system when you people please. Why willpower alone won't ever stop it, but how you can actually begin to heal. So most people treat people pleasing as a bad habit. They tell themselves, I just need to stand up for myself a bit more, or I need to stop caring what people think. But that rarely works because people pleasing goes far deeper than conscious thought. At its core, people pleasing is the practice of abandoning your own needs, your own boundaries, and truth to manage someone else's state, emotional state. When you people please, you are making a subconscious trade. You trade your external peace, or your internal peace, I should say, for external calm. You prioritize someone else's comfort because to your brain, their discomfort feels dangerous. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the nervous system. Now, you're probably familiar with fight, flight, and freeze responses. But there's a fourth nervous system response that often gets overlooked, and it's fawn response. When your nervous system detects a threat, whether that threat is an actual physical harm, an emotional volatility, or even conflict, or just a simple risk of rejection, it looks for the quickest path to safety. If fight feels impossible, then flight just isn't an option, and freeze just feels unsafe. Your system defaults to fawning. Now, fawning means appeasing that perceived threat. It means pacifying the other person so that they will stay calm, because as long as they are happy, you remain safe. Now, your nervous system has one primary job. It's literally to keep you alive, just to keep you safe. To your primitive brain, rejection or severe conflict historically meant exile from the group, which meant danger. So when you try to set a boundary using pure willpower, your nervous system interprets that boundary as a threat to your safety. This is why setting boundaries often feels accompanied by an intense physical anxiety, a racing heart, stomach knots, or just extreme guilt. Your mind knows you should say no, but your body feels like saying no is actually dangerous. So the solution isn't to force yourself to be more tough. The solution is to teach your nervous system that setting boundaries and facing minor conflict or disappointment is actually safe. So how do we begin building that safety? We start very small. First, we can just introduce a small pause. So when someone asks you for something, practice saying, let me just have a check what I've got going on and I'll come back to you. This gives your nervous system a moment to drop out of high alert so you can then make a conscious decision instead of just an automatic fawn response. Secondly, start setting micro boundaries in low stakes situations where the threat level just feels low, saying no to things that don't really matter that much. And third, when you do set a boundary, anchor yourself in your body. Remind yourself mentally, I am safe right now, even if someone else is uncomfortable. As your body begins to feel secure and protected from within, the urge to appease others naturally just will start to fade. There are many nervous system regulation tools available on my page that will help you start to feel safe in your body. However, if you are in need of a deeper, more personalized support, you can book a one-to-one session through the link tree in my profile. Thank you for watching, and remember to be patient with your body as it learns a new way to be safe.